So today, my uplifting words really is based on common sense. Why it is necessary for us to use our common senses instead of just, reading a book and following the book exactly, even when it doesn't make sense. And we know the outcome is going to be not so good, but we continue onward in it. Common sense helps with our mental status. And I'm going to just talk to you about what the Bible says about common sense. And so, in the God Questions, um, biblical answers, the question was asked, what does the Bible say about common sense? And some of the answers that were given are that common sense is good judgment in practical matters. And if you look in Proverbs 8, verse 5, some translations speak of the need to develop common sense, which some call prudence or discretion. And common sense is thought of as a combination of wisdom and discretion. People says, use your discretion. Somebody, you ask them, can I have some? Can you give me some of that? They said, no, you go ahead and take it. Just use your discretion. Use your common sense. Use your wisdom. And that is Proverbs 3:21 and Proverbs 8:12 to 14. Wisdom is knowing what to do. Discretion is knowing when and where and how to do it. Part of being a fool is having no common sense, right? When you do things that doesn't make sense, people say, you're a fool. You don't have no sense. Use your common sense, right? When people talk about fools, they talk about void of understanding. You don't have the ability to do. And so, in the King James Version of the Bible, it puts it, Proverbs 7, verse 7, and Proverbs 24, verse 30. Proclaims the beliefs of gaining wisdom and also shows the folly of being a fool. Proverbs 13 verse 16, Proverbs 16:22, Proverbs 26:11, Proverbs 3:13 to 14 says, blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, for he or she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. Wisdom allows us to see life the way God does, right? When we see God's perspective, we can make decisions based upon those significance rather than selfish interest. When we choose to make decisions based on wisdom alone, we are exercising common sense, right? So even in the Bible, it talks about common sense, talks about how to use it. Because as I said, as you watch the video, you're going to see, you're going to hear me talking about these other things that prevents heartaches. And here is what Proverbs 2, 1 to 8, it is telling you that the desire for instant gratification is the enemy of common sense. When you make decisions without looking at the big picture, analyzing it, and using common sense, it becomes ensnared in trouble and heartache, right? Don't look for that immediate satisfaction. We look at people getting pregnant and then they cry, oh, I can't do, I don't know what to do, right? People getting into marriages without having foundations. How are we going to survive? How are we going to provide? How are we going to do these things? And so instead of using common sense and say, let us protect ourselves until we're able to, they get carried away with the feelings, those feelings, which are normal, but they protect themselves from what those 2 seconds of self gratification or pleasure is going to create. It creates a third mouth to be fed. And when you didn't have it, when you were struggling with only 2 adults, just think of what a child who needs so much is going to bring it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you in the video, that common sense is necessary for mental health also, because when we make the right decisions, then we look and we see the fruits of our labor instead of anger and frustration and hatefulness and all the ugly things that we're ensnared with because we did not use common sense. So common sense is often developed by learning from the consequences of poor choices. The school of hard knocks educates many. Everyone makes bad decisions at some point. The difference between the wise and the foolish is that one learns from his mistakes and the other keeps repeating them. Some people seem bored with a more level head, while others learn from experience. Either way, wisdom and common sense should be continually pursued in order to experience the best God has for us. Go back to Proverbs 2 1 to 8, and that will guide you. It says, "My son, if you receive my words and treasure up my commandments with you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding. Yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding. If you seek it, if you seek it like silver and search for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, guarding the paths of justice and watching over the way of his saints. Please enjoy the video, my people, and just know that Miss Bev respects and loves you all. And as you watch the videos, please share them and support me on this journey. As I uplift you, I also uplift myself, and together we can grow in unity. If you can't be good, be careful. Now go watch the video. God has been good to me. Good morning, my hopeful people. I am here. I have been quiet for a moment, but I have thought about you guys at all times. So this morning I'm back. There are days when I feel like, and then there are days when I said, wait a minute, somebody's waiting to hear Miss Bev's voice. Right, Jet, Ernestine, all of you out there, G, the rest of us, Mojo Joe, I don't know. I know that you had a Wi-Fi issue. I think you're still watching. But all of you out there, guys, I just hope that this morning that you woke up hopeful. Terry Ann, I spoke to you. I was in touch with you this morning, so I know you're okay. Shell, all of you who have been here supporting, watching the videos, liking the videos, I totally appreciate you. And today I'm just going to talk a little bit about common sense, people. Just a little talk about common sense. But first, I want to remind us that if you're new to the channel, that you will subscribe and that you would like a video or two and share them. And as we continue on the journey, continuing onward and upward. this morning because I was away for so long from you guys. I've been home though. A lot of rain, a lot of thunderstorms. As I said, this has been the rainiest July ever in this part. A lot of flooding, a lot of flooding, a lot of flooding in this northern section of America. And so I'm here. Couple of days we didn't go walking because of the rain, early rain. I know some of you say, oh, put on your galoshes, just go walk. But again, I pick my battles and I use common sense in what I do. And so for some things, it's not that serious. I can still walk on my gazelle. If you look at it, it's all the way in the back behind me. You can see it over there behind me. And it's a sprint machine. So you're walking on it, and it's like you're outside walking, just that there's no impact on your knees. So when I'm here, it's not that I don't have things. My treadmill is downstairs. I do have my jump rope, which, it's been a journey. When you carry the weight, you have to observe each time you're able to do something. Like at first, maybe it was my mind, but there's a time when I wasn't able to do that running. Now I'm not running fast, but I can run. I can pick up my body and I can move my body instead of just walking. Jumping the rope, I was able to maybe jump one. Now I'm jumping more than one. So when I'm turning the rope, and I'm doing up to 10 jumps when I'm turning it. So it's a little practice, and I'm happy for every progress that is made. As I said, I'm not looking for quick fixes. I'm not forcing myself into things that will create another problem. I am taking my time and I'm making strides. So that's part of common sense. Instead of jumping and then all of a sudden you're here today, you get it today and then you can't do it anymore but if you do it gradually, you'll find that it is something that you will enjoy. So because I was away from you, I want you to notice that this dress also, I'm not shopping. I haven't bought anything new for school. I'm still getting into the clothing that I had before. This dress is a size 26, and it has been in the plastic in my closet, and this morning I wanted to just put it on for you guys. And so here I am. Even in the boobs, I'm losing a little weight up in there. So gradual progress, and so I'm thankful for that. So I hope that wherever you are, guys, that you have been getting up, moving, doing what you do. As I said, from July 4th, I haven't had one little tiny piece of meat since then. I do my things a little, again, as I said, I'm not a nutritionist, right? I am just doing the things that works for me. And in my mental state, I know where I am and I know what I'm able to do comfortably without getting into any mood swings or any kind of an imbalance. I try to stay focused. I try to not overdo things. I try to just do, what I can manage. So haven't had meat. My goal is to get to that point where I don't it's not part of my diet anymore. That's my goal. And I'm taking my time to get to that goal. I'm not going to be doing that, So haven't had meat. I've had some codfish. I've had a lot of sardine with tomato and garlic and raw onions. Sardines just cooked up. Sardines. How else did I eat my sardine? But that's what I'm having, guys. Just having my sardine. Cooking some white rice and just putting my sardines on it with pepper. And I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. I have salmon, but that too, I'll talk about the salmon and some of the reasons why I want to also cut back on fish. Because we eat it and they say it's healthy, but we forget that there are things in there that if we have too much of it in our system, it can poison us also. So, so that's it. And we have some callaloo. My daughter's a lot of thing. What I'm eating a lot of is avocado. The little things we had the big green ones in Jamaica, brown or purplish, whatever. But here they're very small. But inside they are good. They're thick. They're good. They're not mushy and ew. They're good. And so I am enjoying that more. My fruits and my my vegetables. I like to cook my vegetables salt free, but with some olive oil on them and a lot of garlic, and I enjoy that. So enough about me and what I'm doing, but just know that movement counts for a lot of things. Notice it. I had bought the Omega. It's fish oil tablets, and you get, when you buy the package on Amazon, you get three things. You get the vitamin D, and they're small things that you easily swallow. Vitamin D, the Omega XL, and I also get the turmeric caplets, the capsules. So I'm taking those three things, guys, just to see how well it helps my back. I have refused to take stuff, but I feel that instead of going into getting medication or getting a surgery on my back, that I can try these things. So I'm trying it, and I'll tell you how it works, if it works. Because we know that a lot of things out there, people put a name on them and they brand them and they make multi-millions from it. And we go to the next thing because they said, oh, this is good to lose weight. And you jump on it and then you find that it only destroys your part of your body system, and then you still have the weight or you gain more weight. So a lot of things, it's just best if you go at it naturally. I think of my grandmother and how she went through her things and how she survived. And so today I said, thinking back of those days, let me talk a little bit about common sense. What is common sense? Because a lot of times, like when we come here from Jamaica, you look at some jobs that you're looking like, I could have done that. But what prevented you from getting the job? You don't have a piece of paper. Everybody needs, oh, did you go to college? Oh, do you have a degree? And degrees do not. If you don't have sense, or you have common sense, we all have senses. But common sense is just to be able to make a judgment call without having to reading some book or something. A lot of our life experiences helps us to build common sense. And we get that natural ability to just look at something and say, oh, this would make sense. Let us look at it this other way, right? A lot of people, even in teaching, you see a lot of teachers who they're reading word for word from the curriculum. While you have 18 kids sitting in front of you, 21 kids, 30 kids, who are unique children coming with different experiences, different situations going on in their lives. And therefore, you have to be able to take that curriculum, which they have it so scripted, because they're telling you what to say, when to say it, how long you should stay on something. But you cannot do that with common sense. Common sense says, look at the population you're working with. Tailor what you're teaching to fit that population. Look at your relationship. One size doesn't fit all. There are times when you have a great person that you're with, but there are pieces missing that if they had those pieces, you would have had a perfect relationship. But there's no such thing. How is it that people can make it work? And they're not angry, they're not bitter, but they use common sense. I know if I do this, it's going to create a problem. I know if I dig and search for things, I'm going to find things that I don't even understand. And a lot of times we're not capable to ask questions. We just make judgments. So people, please remember. So we have to remember, people, that we have to use common sense. Don't create situations where anger is going to pursue. Look back at our parents. Look back at those parents who were never abused. But there were things going on, but they stayed in their marriages because they know they didn't have jobs and they needed stability for the children. If they're raising the kids, somebody has to bring in the money. So instead of running away and giving up and start fighting and arguing, and then they stop taking care of the kids and you're left to find a way by yourself, a lot of them just keep their mouth shut, create peace in their surroundings that they can coexist in a beautiful way. We look at driving. A lot of times people are driving, and because they have the right of way, they figure, well, I don't care. They'd rather somebody hit them or they hit somebody instead of just saying, all right, let me step back. Let me just slow down. Let them idiot. Let them go. Right? Use common sense, guys. Common sense is to making a good judgment call to avoid certain disasters. You go to church. A lot of people go to church and they come out and the pastor says, but they don't stop and think that pastors are human beings. They need to read for themselves. They need to look at the experiences that they have and to use that to build a sensible way of living. So my people, love to every one of you, and I hope where you are today that you're thinking that common sense makes sense. It's not about degrees or the education level we have. It's about being able to think logically and use our natural abilities, our background knowledge, our life experiences to make those good judgment calls. If you can't be good, be careful, but walk good. Love to all of you.